Okay, so assumed leftist, but doesn't have to be, says, I completely support this. This is the value that my ideology stands for, referring to the like specific stuff on the top of the big tower of values and structures a society needs, and then points at this little brick propping up a large part of the entire half of the whole thing he's saying he likes. This tiny little stalk that's propping up points at that and says, I'm completely against this. This is what my ideology fights each day. I had to describe it for those listening at home, but essentially a self-defeating, like Jenga tower destroying worldview. And this is quite often true. People, especially midwits, and these days very much leftists, but it doesn't have to be the leftist every time, grossly underestimate how fragile society is. And I did when I was younger as well, because I just didn't know. But the more you learn, the more you understand how fragile it is and how much it depends purely on what people are conditioned to do before they are let loose and trusted to be the brick that stands in this spot. And that if just enough of them go away, the whole thing could collapse. And it only hasn't because we're so bloody adaptable. But it could happen. And like family values could be the brick here, the stalk, just that it could be the thing that it's so essential, but they're trying to get rid of it constantly. Family values is one of like 10 or 15 things you could label, which could be exactly that they are today trying to destroy, which if they got rid of it, well, all of the leisure and luxury and expansion and science and all this stuff that requires a stable society would be impossible because societies would collapse immediately or soon.
Well, I mean, it's not even that complicated. It's like, by the way, I will use the word, but keep in mind the word is literally a Marxist psyop. But capitalism, capitalism, also known as the natural state of two people who have stuff.
Yeah,
like it's just the way we do things. It's the way we've always done things. The way we always will do things. It doesn't need a name. If you want to call it something, call it free trade.
Yeah.
But that building block could be free trade and open market capitalism.
Yeah.
And the top can be like, I don't know, government funded healthcare or some shit like that.
Could be any number of things.
It's like
even going to Mars and building a Mars base. It's the kind of thing that requires those basics.
Oh yeah. But like, you don't get the government-funded healthcare without a strong, stable, free market economy to back it up.
Yeah.
And you constantly having your Hassan Pikers and your Vosh's and your Destiny's is constantly going, it's doing capitalism and free market. And it's like, dog, you don't get all the other stuff without it. But that, as you said, midwittery. It's really like, it's postmodernism as well.
It is also
do we actually need? Yes.
It is remarkable to me
it's been tried. Yeah, it's been tried before without it, and it's failed horribly each time.
Go very well.
It's every time you try to centrally plan an economy, it fails. Let the economy do it, but it doesn't do what we want. Yes, it doesn't do what you want. It'll do what you need.
If you let it, if you leave it alone,
If you leave it alone and make sure it doesn't go too crazy, but if you just let the economy do its thing, if you let people buy what they need and then subsequently buy what they want, you will do that. But that doesn't make sure that trans kids can be sick. Well, maybe trans kids don't exist.
That's a whole different kind of worms. But yes.
But it's like, well, you don't understand. Our movie that starred a blind Indian dyslexic bipedal woman or paraplegic woman failed in the box office. This is capitalism's fault. And it's like, you are not wrong. It's the free market's fault. You made a bad movie. No one saw it, so it failed. This is no one's fault but yours.
So, the best way that I can describe the problem with their criticisms against capitalism really briefly is They view capitalism as the source of struggle in the universe or in our societies. Whereas capitalism is, in fact, the tool that is most effective for dealing with the struggle inherent to the universe. And they do not understand the difference. And so they blame our tool. It's like you've got the hammer, you're hitting the nail, you keep missing. And like you say, hammers are the problem with what, like nails being hard to hammer. You don't think about, are you missing because you're an idiot? Are you missing because the nail's in like crooked? Are you missing because the wood's too strong? Are you missing because any other number of factors? No, just blame not just this hammer, but all hammers. Hammers are the problem with me not being able to hit this nail. Delete hammers. But that would look pretty if someone said that, wouldn't it? Well, that is exactly what every, pretty much, anti-capitalist today is doing, with almost no distinction from that analogy. Total hammer deaths. That is.
You get someone who has been bullied and is mentally deranged, and you get federal agents to groom him over the internet to go towards violence, and then they magically get enough money to buy a truck and a couple of assault rifles, and then they go and they kill a bunch of their classmates, and then you blame the rifle.
Similar issue. I mean,
completely unrelated to anything.
Yeah. But even in that one, like that one is even like it's still wrong, but it's closer to being right, because at least in that one, the tool is like amplifying the problem. Granted, of course, it's not the tool's fault, it's the person's fault. They're using a tool which can be used for good, but in that case, it's being used for bad. What I'm describing is the tool is literally making it much easier, but you're feeling the problem through the tool.
Yeah.
So your example's right, but it's even less strong than what I'm saying. So yeah, it's
suing car companies because you got into a car accident.
That one's closer, yeah. Yeah. So, next meme.